We'll call the December the 5th regular meeting of the DeSoto County Board of Education to order. And the first item on the agenda is pledge of allegiance to the flag. And we have today Ms. Taylor Tipton, 8th grader, All Lake Middle School. Lead us in the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Ms. Tipton, great job. Next item of business is to approve the agenda that you have before you. Are there any additions or deletions to the agenda as before you? If not, do we have a recommendation to approve the agenda?
Mr. President, I recommend to the board to approve the agenda.
Okay, based on the superintendent's recommendation for approval of the agenda before you, do we have a motion to that effect? Motion having been made, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and second having been made, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Nay? Ayes have it, the agenda is approved. Next item of business is the superintendent's report, Mr. Usher.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have 3 items this afternoon for my superintendent's report. Our first item on the report actually is concerning awards that our school board members won at the recent Mississippi School Board Association. And our school board members always love to give recognition to our students, which we'll be doing here in just a moment. But before we get started with that, I feel that it's appropriate for us to recognize our school board members for all of their hard work. And so if our board members will join me, before we're down here in front of the stage, I'll let everyone in attendance know about the awards that have been won. Our board members attend training. They have sessions at the Mississippi School Board Association, and there are 145 school districts around the state, and each of those school districts go through that organization to receive training. And at the recent conference, our board members won 2 awards. They won the Diploma Circle Award. That is, that you have to have at least 120 hours as a board as a whole. And only 6 school districts in the state received that. And they also won the Red Apple Attendance Award. That's the total hours that the whole board has received in training. And they only give that to 1 school district. And our board received that to be the most training of any school district in the state. So let's give our board members. Wants to move down. Big round of applause. We have got several students that we want to recognize today. We have got some state champions in the audience. I want to ask Mr. Dwayne Case, principal of Fernando High School, to please come forward this time.
Thank you, Mr. Robinson. Thank the board for having us. We're here today to recognize and celebrate our girls cross country team. And I'm going to call Coach Logan Clark to the front. I'm going to let him introduce his girls. This is his 3rd year with us. Coach Clark's a former student of mine. He's been the cross country coach at Fernando 3 years, and they finished 4th, 2nd, and this year 1st. So we're heading in the right direction. And a large majority of our team, I think, maybe I think we have a junior that is the oldest person on the team. So we've got she probably doesn't like to be recognized as the oldest person on the team, but anyway, the ladies get offended by that. But we are very young, and so we've got a bright future. But I'm going to turn it over to Coach Clark and let him introduce his team.
Thank you, Mr. Case, and clear it up. We have Riley Edge, one senior on the team. So we have one senior. So thank you for inviting us here today to recognize what these young ladies have been able to achieve. It's a long road from June 1st to November 5th, and then it was delayed by a week, and then we finally went down to the state championship. And last year we lost by 1 point, and that's what carried us through the entire season to achieve something great and be a champion at the end of the day. And these ladies worked incredibly hard to do so throughout the summer, throughout the school year, and at the same time, keeping their eyes on the prize. So if we can, we're going to recognize our ladies by coming up. I'm going to hand you this, and if you would, please stay up here. First, we have Jessica Cartwright. Next, we have Riley Jackson. Next, we have Sarah Harmon. Emma Claire Haley. She brought it over.
Congratulations.
Lillian McDonald. Madison McMillan. Bernie Phillips. Loxley Boyles. Ellie Sauter. Avery Barrett. Riley Edge. Jessica Polk. Julia Polk. Claire Beth Ketchum. Aubrey McLeod. Delaney Hopkins. Catherine Dunlap. Our other two ladies couldn't be with us here today, but I do want to go ahead and make sure we bring up Coach Laura Brady. She joined me 2 years ago when they transferred up from Senatobia, and again, this would not be possible without her helping us and the young ladies achieve something great. Thank you very much for inviting me.
I'll turn around, we're going to get a brief picture.
Y'all kind of make it several lines here. Apologies, straight down. You have to get not around yourselves more of this one. All right. That's what you, and you're a little bit, get on the front. All right, please, let's do 3 lines. Let's go down.
Congratulations, ladies. Now we've got Mr. Doug Bates, principal of Center Hill High School, to introduce this state team.
So I'm going to ask my volleyball coach, Coach Robbie Beatty, to make the way up here. Appreciate letting her call the girls' name out. She's been in education for 19 years. She's been with the county a lot of those years. But she's been with Center Hill for 2 years, and I asked her to take over the program in the middle of the year, 2 years ago. So she had the crash course in volleyball, and in this short time, she's had a lot of, she's had years of experience with this, and these short 2 years, she's turned this program around. She's put a lot of hard work in. She's done this by herself. I wasn't able to put an assistant coach. I just wanted y'all to know she's washed the jersey, she's driven the bus, she's done all this by herself. But these girls have worked super hard this year, and we're very proud of them. First state championship in school history in volleyball. I'm going to let Coach Beatty come introduce these girls.
Thank y'all for having us. It's very nice to be able, for the girls to be able to be recognized for the hard work that they put in. Each work I put in, but those girls put in a whole lot more work than I did. And it's hard. I came in the middle of the season, and they believed in me, and we came together in a short period of time. I think our biggest goal was for them to get over the hurdle of believing in themselves, and I'm so proud of them. I had been there before, and I had won a state title. I won 2, and this is my 3rd, but it was the first time for them, and probably the best experience I've had at that stage, to see the tears of joy that they shared when they accomplished something that they thought they could do. Then when it happened, they're like, we really did this. So I'm super proud of them. But I'm going to go ahead and introduce them, and they can come up. Tiriana Tillman. Lauren Bullock. Anna Jernigan. Zakiah Taylor. Lydia Walker. Callie Goodwin. Reagan Green. Mackenzie Sanders. Chloe Steen. Brinley Steve. Sydney Bickle. Abby Chisholm. Alyssa Henson. Olivia Hines. Emily Weinberg. Zeta Brewer. Kylie Castain. Shelby Coleman. Cassidy Haney. Maddie Maxwell. Elizabeth McKelvin. Finley Ritchie. Alexis Tompkins. And Sanila Harris.
So take 3 lines. Jerry, so sit down.
Congratulations once again to Center Hill High School volleyball team and Hernando High School girls cross country team. Great accomplishments, winning a state title. I want to congratulate the players and the coaches for those accomplishments. I want to thank the parents who were here in attendance also for the support of our athletic programs. We're about to move on to the business part of the board meeting, so if you were here for that portion and you would like to leave, now would be a good time to do that. Not trying to run you off. You would like to go. this time, I'd like to introduce our teacher spotlight segment for the afternoon. I'd like the principal of Horn Lake Middle School, Mr. Dick Tunkett, to please come forward and introduce the segment.
All right, I appreciate y'all having us today. We're excited about showing off the good things at Horn Lake Middle School. So today we have Miss Jennifer Morris. She is a lot of things at Horn Lake Middle School, too many names. She's been there 8 years. She is our lead science teacher. She's worked hard on this, and I appreciate her doing this for us. But, she's former teacher of the year for us, so she is the glue that holds us together. So we appreciate her. She's going to touch this out. Thank y'all.
Hello. I'm not gonna stand in front of that mic. I have a big enough mouth. I think they don't have so I never stand still. I'm so thankful to be here again and tell you about all the wonderful things that are happening at the lake. Yes, I've been at Horn Lake Middle School for the last 8 years, and I wouldn't go anywhere else. I really love it at Horn Lake Middle School. And so one of the things that Mr. Tunkett brought on was, why not Horn Lake Middle School? Why couldn't we be the top, the best? And so we wanted to showcase today all the wonderful things that we have going on here at Horn Lake. Mr. Tunkett tries to make sure that we understand that a great motto is that if our kids are involved in something, they're going to be invested and connected to their education and to the classroom and to the school. And so that's what we really want them to do, is to be involved in something. So we offer band and color guard. Our color guard went from 6 to 14 to 40 members in 2 years. Our choir, phenomenal. Our cheerleading program travels all over the place competing. We have our youth and government program, Beta Club, Student Council, broadcasting, EBTV. We have one of the best, I think, daily announcements through our EBTV program. So it's all done by students every single day. It's wonderful. Our yearbook is also done by students. We have our chess club, athletics, science club, 5K club, knowledge bowl. And this year, to even get the students even more involved, several of the teachers offered elective classes. So this year, to offer something else for the students to be involved in, we have a creative writing class, piano, humanities, public speaking, and even an American Sign Language class. So these are additional electives to the things that we already offered in the classroom to, again, get our students involved. And so you can see that our students are constantly active and involved and engaged in what they're doing. That's going to make them want to learn, make them more connected to their education. So all kinds of wonderful things going on at Horn Lake Middle School. Science Club, which is what my baby. So Science Club started 4 years ago. We have 30 plus members. We meet monthly to do experiments. We have all kinds of trips. I think this is the most important thing, is that we try to give the students as many experiments or experiences as possible. We take them to NASA to Huntsville. This year, we just got back from Sea Camp at IMMS in Biloxi. We do the Safari drive-through park. We take them to St. Louis. Even on MLK Day, we'll do a fishing day at Latimer Park. We meet them at the park. We offer them the fishing poles and the worms. We'll even bait the hook for them. We just want them to go out there and be able to experience that. So our kids are so excited because they're very own fish, regardless of the size. This year at Sea Camp, our students got to pet a dolphin. So a great experience. This was at NASA. And then our students even got to train the dolphin. So an up-close and personal experience. Again, making those connections, those lifelong memories. This is another one of my babies at Science Club. It's 4 years ago. We started our own chicken program. And so we hatch the chickens right in the classroom, and then you'll notice that we sell the eggs. That is a fundraiser that we put the money right back into Science Club. We sell them to the faculty there. And so the students will get an opportunity to learn a little bit more about practical life skills. This was our coop several years ago when we started. We started with just 4 chickens, and this is how our coop has created. This was actually built by a teacher's husband, one of the teachers that worked there. He volunteered his time, and he built this coop for us. I've added on to it in the last couple of years. In the classroom is where we hatch the eggs. So the students actually get to watch this whole process. They'll run around in the back of the classroom for a little bit until we take them outside. And this is those same babies all grown up running around in our courtyard. They really enjoy that. Several years ago, we started what used to be called a science night, and we changed it to what's called an annual STEAM night. So the science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics component. And so this is one of the biggest events that we do at the end of the year in order to get our parents and our community involved. We bring in a STAR lab from the University of Mississippi. We have student-led stations. So this is not teacher facilitated, this is completely student facilitated. I just kind of help them get it started, but the students actually run all the stations. So the students are the ones doing the teaching, the interaction, they're the ones that are involved in the whole process. We also partner with CTC. They bring over all of their robotics, showcasing all of the stuff that they have to offer as well. This event has kicked off. It is huge. We have lots and lots of parents and families and community members that are involved. 250 plus families will show up, students and parents and children, small children. They can't wait for this event every single year. But again, the students are the ones who do all of the teaching, not the teachers themselves. So we have science stations and math stations and art stations, all kinds of things that the students are actually getting the opportunity to teach other people about what they've learned in the classrooms. Last year, we started our ELA night. So in order to promote some of the different jobs that are in the industries and how in the world does writing and English have to do with it? One of the questions is, where am I ever going to use this? Right? So making the students connected to how are they going to use this in the community. So they invited different businesses to come in and showcase how does English tie into the business world. And so several different businesses came in, families were invited to come through and find out how does English connect to the business world. So we had over 150 attendees to this event last year, and they'll be doing it again this year in the spring. So they called it a journey through the real world. So literacy in the business world. So it was a great event. Our Beta Club has really set a precedence in the community. Mr. Clark, who's running Beta Club, has gotten our name out there. They're contacting us about the things that they need us to do. The Halloween Spectacular at Latimer Park was completely run by Beta students. Every station at the trunk or treat and all the carnival activities were run by Beta students at Fort Lane Middle School. So without the Beta Club, they wouldn't have been able to put on that event. We do Reading Across America, Toys for Tots. This year, they also put in over 400 hours already for volunteer hours at the Fort Lane Public Library. They'll do Christmas in the Park, the 12 Days of Christmas, and then of course several other projects. And so trying to get the students again involved, not only in the classroom, but also in the community, being a positive light to our local area. This year we started an incentive program. Each grade has their own incentive program. 6th grade does Above the Line. So trying to keep students understanding why it is important that they are making those good choices every single day. Once a month they do a celebration for a dance party from any student who's been able to maintain those standards for their Above the Line. 7th grade's program is called Winning Wednesdays. So they do an ABC program. A is for attendance, B is for behavior, C is for C's or higher. Again, they do a monthly lunch. They do Winning Wednesdays, so get them fun and pumped up. This year, Ms. Savage wrote a grant and received a grant from the DeSoto Foundation for Excellence for her Winning Wednesdays program. So very excited about that. In 8th grade, we have a 2024 mentality. This is again keeping those kids thinking about graduation in the class of 2024. So academic excellence is one of our core values, making sure that they're making those good choices. Self-regulation, having those connections to our counselors. This year they started a new motto, HL for family, so our hashtag family. And then of course once a month they do a celebration of the birthdays and continuing that 2024 mentality. So all of these incentives. We also have a positive behavior intervention system. They created the motto, Eagles, accepting, growing leaders, engaged, selfless. So teachers set up those early expectations. We make sure that we acknowledge not those bad behaviors, but those positive behaviors. Always making connections to what are we looking for rather than always what are we not looking for. We have a school-wide reward system, something called our Eagle Emporium. Our students are able to earn tickets and tokens, and then they can spend those at lunch in the mornings to buy things like pencils and bookmarkers and little trinkets and things. We also have our behavior support systems, our Region 4 multi-tier teacher training, but most importantly, our Elite Eagles. Once every 9 weeks, we recognize our Elite Eagles for honor roll, and they now get these headbands. So this is something that's gone over very well at our school. So our elite Eagles wear their headbands, and then on Tuesdays, our principals will stand in the hallway with buckets, passing out candy to all their students wearing their headbands, showcasing that they were one of our honor roll elite students.
What you said over me, here I remind myself who you are. You said you won't relent, won't let go, won't forget every promise you have whispered to my heart. As I wait on you, I'm gonna run and not grow weary. I'm gonna walk and not grow faint. Rising up on wings like eagles to soar. I know in everything you're with me. I know you're working as I wait. Lift me up on wings like eagles to soar. This is an old song, I will sing on and on. You're a river with the ground I walk is dry. And you will set the crooked straight, clear my path, make a way. You will lead me from the valley to the heights. As I wait on you, I'm not grow weary, I'm gonna walk and not grow faint. Rise up on the wings like eagles to soar. I know everything you're with me, I know you're working as I wait. Lift me up on wings like eagles to soar. Your name is greater than anything I face. Sustainer, savior, stronghold breaker. Your name is greater than anything I face. As I wait on you, I will wait. God, I will wait on you. I'm gonna run and not grow weary. I'm gonna walk and not grow faint. I'll run.
So every day in our classroom, we're constantly trying to use that technology in the classroom. We won one of those $10,000 grants last year. We got the Google Expedition models in our classroom, so being able to take our students on virtual field trips. And not only do we get to take them on field trips, we can also bring that experiences from outside inside, and the students absolutely love that. So all kinds of things happening in the classroom. So regardless of what classroom you walk into or what day, you can see the students being involved and engaged and participating in their learning, being connected. We have visitors coming in from all over, from the Museum of Mississippi, from the University of Memphis. We have watershed programs, interactive notebooks, FaceTime Fridays, everything going on in the classroom in order to constantly get the students involved and engaged. And so again, wonderful hands-on learning experiences happening in the classrooms every day. So what has this gotten us? This year we have several victories. Our cheer team has won several awards. Our 8th grade football team just brought home the district champions, so we're very excited about that. We also had 14 EL students that were just successfully exiting our program, so a great accomplishment. We also have a VFW Patriots Pin winners. For the last 20 years, the Patriot Pin winners have come from Horn Lake Middle School. So this is a really awesome honor. Youth and Government participates in bill writing. Our color guard won at the middle school division. And of course, our band and choir always receiving excellent ratings. So lots of victories and connections being made at Horn Lake Middle School. So what results have we seen by us trying to help those students become connected and involved? First of all, we see excitement in the classroom, more enthusiasm and excitement for the students that are actually learning and participating, wanting to be there every day. Student behavior has declined, the attendance has increased, and of course, student accountability. This was actually created by one of our students who in the past, she actually found herself in a lot of trouble. This year, she has actually been promoted to all AP classes and has not been in trouble. And so this is that accountability, trying to make her get involved and be a part of, and she actually created this in the hallway. So these were poems written by students in the classroom, and then she designed and created this. Positive working environments for both the teachers and the students. So the teachers having fun and being involved and engaged as well as the students. And so that's what it's all about. So the question is, why not Horn Lake Middle School? Because we are family and we're here to raise the bar.
Mike, then. That's good. I like that. Ms. Morris, we appreciate you. You did such a great job out there. Always enthusiastic and doing a better job. That's what students. Mr. Tuckett, we appreciate your leadership.
Thank you, sir.
On the two of them, thank y'all. Great presentation.
Thank you. He told me I like to talk, but I had to keep it short.
The only thing I did not like was having to dissect a rat. I could not go to that class.
They also got to dissect sharks this year.
And SARS is okay, but not
Not the rats.
Well, it's quite obvious your enthusiasm is contagious. And that's wonderful.
So thank you. Well, I love it. I wouldn't go anywhere else. So. Thank y'all so much.
That concludes the superintendent's report.
Okay, next item on the agenda, attorney's report.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, we have one potential litigation matter I need to discuss with you in the executive session.
All right. Next item of business is the approval of the minutes from the November the 21st board meeting. Do we have a motion to that effect?
I make that motion to approve the minutes for November the 21st, 2019 board meeting.
All right, motion having been made for approval, do we have a second? Motion and second having been made, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye, nay, ayes have it. The minutes of the November the 21st board meeting is approved. Next item of business is the approval of the consent agenda. That is items A through S. Are there any changes that need to be made to the consent agenda? Not your recommendation, Mr. Arthur.
Mr. President, I recommend the board to approve the consent agenda.
Okay, based on superintendent's recommendation for approval on the consent agenda, do we have a motion to that effect? Motion having been made, do we have a second? Motion and second having been made, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Nay. Ayes have it, the consent agenda, items A through S are approved. The next item of business, new business, number A, permission to construct a shade structure, Lewisburg Primary School, Mr. Williams.
Yes, sir. Lewisburg Primary School is requesting to install a playground shade on the campus. And the PTO will cover all the costs associated with installation and construction. And upon completion, the shade will be donated to the district.
Okay. Questions, comments of Mr. Williams? Not your recommendation, Mr. Austin.
Mr. President, I recommend the board to approve the construction of the shaded structure at Lewisburg Primary School.
Okay, based on the superintendent's recommendation for approval, do we have a motion to that effect? Motion having been made, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second having been made, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Nay, ayes have it, permission to construct a shade structure at Lewisburg Primary School is approved. Item D, request to pay vendor, purchasing road rule issue, One Lake High School, Mr. Williams.
Yes, sir. In a rush to get the HVAC system up for this school, I think it was August the sixth. We had someone from physical planning request that the company come in and work on those units up that they wrote when the students came. Then it's rushed to get a monthly bill to get a purchase order prior to. So we have discussed that procedural oversight with physical planning and should not happen again, but we're asking permission to be able to pay the vendor for the service agreement.
Thank you, Mr. Williams. Any questions, comments, Mr. Williams? Your recommendation, Mr. Arthur.
Mr. President, I recommend the board to approve the payment to the vendor for the purchase rules issued at One Lake High School.
Based on the superintendent's recommendation for approval, do we have a motion to that effect? Motion having been made, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and second having been made, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Nay. Ayes have it, the request to pay vendor is approved. Item C, request to pay vendor purchasing road issue transportation department. Mr. Williams.
Yes, sir. We got a bus that was repaired. I've had some repairs done to it prior to having a purchase order in place. To prevent this from happening again, we talked to the director of the transportation department and the staff, and he will supervise the repair purchasing procedures more diligently. We're requesting permission from the board to pay A&B Pass Auto Glass for the repairs that they made to the bus.
Questions, comments, questions, Mr. Williams? If not, your recommendation, Mr. Arthur.
Mr. President, I recommend the board to approve payment to the vendor for the purchase rules issued by the transportation department.
Based on the superintendent's recommendation for approval, do we have a motion to that effect?
So moved.
Motion having been made, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and second having been made, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Nay. Ayes have it, the request to pay vendor, purchasing rule issue transportation department is approved. Next item of business is, statement of revenue and expenditures, October, is Graves.
Our general fund revenues received so far for the year is $66,883,252. That is 26% of what of the total we expect to receive for the year. All funds revenues received are at $70,531,517, which is 28% of our budget revenues. They can't compare to last year with the email, we cannot get into our accounting software this time. So, but I do projections throughout the year, so the revenues are actually slightly ahead of what we do project based on, are a little bit ahead of what we have projected for this year so far. So we are slightly ahead. On the expenditure side, compared to last year, again, it's down, but we typically run about 30%. This time we're around 28%. That's very good. So our general fund expenditures are $72,468,730. That's 28% of total general fund budget expenditures of $256,439,692. And all funds expenditures are at $112,295,858, which is 28% of all budgeted fund expenditures.
Thank you. Any questions, comments of this graph? Revenue and expenditure. Not your recommendation, Mr. Superintendent.
Mr. President, I recommend the board to approve the statement of revenue and expenditures for October 2019.
Based on the superintendent's recommendation for approval, do we have a motion to that effect?
Make that motion.
Motion having been made, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and second having been made. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Nay. Ayes have it, statement of revenue and expenditures for October 2019 is approved. Next item of business, statement of cash flow for October 2019.
Our district maintenance cash balance at the end of October is $81,057,913. Of that includes the invested balance with Ms. Shelnutt of $27,548,649. All funds cash balance is at $109,931,312.
Thank you. Very good. Questions, comments to this phrase of statement of cash flow? Not your recommendation, Mr. Hussey.
Mr. President, I recommend the board to approve the statement of cash flow for October 2019.
Based on the superintendent's recommendation for approval, do we have a motion to that effect? Motion having been made, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and second having been made, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Nay? Ayes have it, the statement of cash flow is approved. Next item of business is the combined balance sheet, October 2019.
Our general funds fund balance is at $80,309,024. Again, can't compare to last year, but revenues being up, expenditures being down, we're probably pretty close to last year. All funds fund balance are at $105,408,240. And our general funds make up about 76% of total funds. And again, we received our second amount of COP funds in that month, so we're still hovering around the 70s. We'll know more of the 80s, but it's just because we had additional funds for construction.
Any questions or comments, any questions of this phrase on the combined balance sheet? Not your recommendation, Mr. Superintendent.
Mr. President, I recommend the board to approve the combined balance sheet for October 2019.
Based on the superintendent's recommendation for approval, do we have a motion to that effect? Motion having been made, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and second having been made, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Nay? Ayes have it. Combined balance sheet October is approved. Next item of business is the certification of bank reconciliation. Please, Brett.
All bank statements have been reconciled in this section.
Great. Based on Ms. Graves' statement of certification of bank reconciliation, to recommendation.
Mr. President, I recommend the board to approve the certification of bank reconciliation for October 2019.
Based on the superintendent's recommendation for approval, do we have a motion to that effect? Motion having been made, do we have a second? Motion and second having been made, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Nay? Ayes have it, the certification of bank reconciliations is approved. Next item of business is number G, new board policy, GBRMB vaping policy, first read this week.
Yes, sir, we're presenting the vaping policy for a first reading. This policy is a new policy that was recommended by the Mississippi School Board Association in response to the increased use of electronic cigarettes and things of that nature. So we'll be placing this on our website for review, and we'll present it again in 2 weeks, or January.
All right. This is first read on the board policy, GBRMB vaping policy. First read, let's see. That's it. Next item of business is perseverance, Mr. Allen Howard.
Sir, personnel package this afternoon, pages 1 to 2 are recommendations. Page 3 is personnel package. Page 4 is our provisional list. The person has been on there for a while, they got there, completed all steps to obtain licensure. We're waiting on the State Department's issue about obtaining my CEUs. Page 5 is a memo for myself on additional teacher assistant units being added to our local schools. So we added 1 to the South End Elementary School and 2 to Horn Lake Intermediate School. That units will be absorbed through attrition for the 2021 school year. If you remember, we previously eliminated executive director position and a coordinator position, and those meetings and savings went, so that was for the South Central Elementary for 2 teaching positions. And we're recommending these teacher assistants on those savings for this too, so we're taking those savings and placing them back in the classroom. Page 6 is a memo for myself on cafeteria manager salary increases. It's due to the Department of Labor law, so we had to update the salary compensation levels for workers to be exempt. Begins January 1st, 2020. There's a new standard salary level. We have to meet those Department of Labor regulations. Currently affects 21 employees. The increases you'll see range from $7.58 to a little over $1,500 for next semester. Everything else falls in between that per individual. It will take care of our current employees for the remainder of the 1920 school year. And then, of course, the pay committee will have to meet throughout through the spring semester, because we will have some pay scales that will have to be, we'll have to make some changes to address this law in future years. Page 7 is request for additional pay for extended homebound services. Employees work maximum 4 hours per week. Is needed beginning 12/6 and ending 6/30/2020. Page 8 is a list of employees' names and locations to work those homebound services. Page 9 is the assistant superintendent flow chart. Page 10 and 12 is the assistant superintendent's job description, which is the same as the removal of provides leadership for continuing ed and student records. Page 13 is grants and communication flow chart. Page 14 is health services flow chart. Page 15 is academic services flow chart. Page 16 is professional development and student support flow chart. Page 17 and 18 are your dyslexia therapist job description. It's basically a title change on who they report to now. Change there. Page 19 is a flow chart for English language learners. Page 20 is a flow chart for academic services. Pages 21 through 23 is the job description for elementary education, and that's removed meets with executive director of academic services regularly. Pages 24 and 26 is the job description for executive director of secondary education. Once again, it removed meets with executive director of academic services regularly. Also removed assist a high school CAO regarding credit graduation student transfer issues. Pages 27 and 29 is the job description for elementary counselors. It's just an added that they report to the director of mental health services. Pages 30 through 32 is the job description for secondary counselors with the same addition. Pages 33 through 35 is the job description for vocational counselor, the same addition. Page 36 is federal programs department flow chart. Page 37 through 39 is the job description for assistant federal programs and Title I director. It is changes the Every Student Succeeds Act of 2015. It's been changed to that for the No Child Left Behind Act of 2001. Pages 40 through 42 is a job description for financial coordinator. Remove supervise the federal programs accounting clerks and remove supervise the workings of the federal programs clerk. Pages 43 through 45 is a job description for data support administrative assistant in federal programs. What's added there was will assist financial coordinator, disperses traveling information. What was removed there is relieves district receptionist for lunch daily, and removed was in the absence of district receptionist stamp mail and sort mail. Removed completes the credit card authorization forms, taxes, hotel reservations, and checks the Title III roles for accuracy. Pages 46 through 48 is the job description for data support and federal programs. Remove code all requisitions by federal grant funds, and remove reports to federal programs director now. I'm sorry, does report to federal programs director now, not financial coordinator. Was a change. Page 49 is gifted education flow chart. Pages 50 and 51 is the job description for psychometrists. Department of Title change to leadership development. I'm sorry, leadership development to gifted. Pages 52 to 54 is a job description for data support. That department, the same change. Page 55 is the research and accountability flow chart. Page 56 is the mental health flow chart. Page 57 is the special education flow chart. Pages 58 and 60 is the job description for assistant director of special education. What's been added there is supervise the CODAs and the therapeutic specialist, and change requirement from a bachelor's degree to a master's degree requirement. Pages 61 through 63 is the job description for audiologist, which has been added, participate in 504 meetings as needed, as well as collaborate with other staff to help place students with hearing impairment. Pages 64 through 66 is the job description for positive behavioral specialists, change that they will now report to the coordinator of behavioral services. Pages 67 and 68 is the job description for certified occupational therapy assistants, changed major functions to provide a therapeutic intervention to address fine motor skills and sensory skills as they relate to the education of students and have benefit from their special education. Pages 69 through 70 is the job description for early interventionist. 187 days, and that was changed to their report to, it was a special education assistant, and now it is a SPED supervisor. Also added was corresponding with various agencies to gather all prior information, and also added is maintain confidentiality and privacy of all ECS records. Pages 71 and 72 is the job description for early interventionists, 230 days with those same changes. 73 and 74 is the job description for special education homebound teachers. Remove highly qualified or minimum requirements, but we have several teachers there that need to be on emergency certification. Pages 75 through 77 is job description for positive behavioral specialist. We changed from coordinator of behavioral services to SPED assistant supervisor. Reporting. Pages 78 to 79 is the job description for multidisciplinary assessment, 230 days, and that's reports now to SPED supervisor, which was the assistant SPED supervisor, preschool community based. Pages 80 and 81 is the job description for multidisciplinary assessment, 187 days. That's report to SPED supervisor. All that's the same change. Page 82 and 83 is a job description for school psychologist and psychometrist, 187 days. What was removed was evaluate students for GIFT program. Pages 84 and 85 is a job description for school psychologist, psychometrist, 230 days. The same removal. Pages 86 and 87 is the job description for school social worker. And that was changed, reports to SPED assistant supervisor, who they report to. Pages 88 and 89 is the job description for therapeutic specialist. What was added was proofreading and checking documents for accuracy, using a keyboard to enter and transform words or data. Pages 90 and 92 is a job description for therapeutic interventionist. That's changed to the report to them, that is changed to a SPED assistant supervisor. Pages 93 through 95 is a job description for intervention coach. What's added was communicate student RTI, which is in response to intervention. Pages 96 to 97 is a job description for data customer support behavioral services, and that's changed reports to financial supervisor and was coordinator behavioral services. Pages 98 is a flow chart for student intervention programs. Pages 99 through 100 is a job description for data customer support for student interventions and programs. That now reports to the Director of Student Intervention Programs. It's added, collects, processes, and verifies all transcripts online and physically manages all aspects of original transcripts. Assists Director with student records and respond and access the front desk personnel to files all inactive files, so they're all been added. Pages 101 through 103, cohort clerk job description. That's a change of reports now to Director of Student Intervention and Programs. Added is monitors all inactive records, monitors the cohort report regularly, and assists with verifying edits, the senior snapshot, assists with maintaining student test records, and assists with power school registrations. Those are all additions to job duty. And to stop there, have that board approved.
Any questions or comments at this time? You stopped at what?
Yes.
Okay. Based on Mr. Alexander's presentation of personnel, pages 1 through 103, you have your recommendation.
Mr. President, I recommend the board to approve personnel as presented on pages 1 through 103.
Okay. Based on the superintendent's recommendation, do we have a motion to effect to approve personnel pages as presented, pages 1 through 103?
Make that motion.
Having been made, do we have a second? Motion and second having been made, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Nay, ayes have it. Motion is approved. Personnel items 1 through 103.
Just so I excuse, so the last page is 104. I need to have approved some memo for myself on a job, the job change recommendation for a data support position in central services. Person will work 230 days to be paid per the data support pay scale.
Based on Mr. Alexander's explanation of page 104 of personnel, your recommendation is also.
Mr. President, I recommend the board to approve personnel as presented on page 104 of the package.
Okay, based on the superintendent's recommendation for page 104, personnel as presented, do we have a motion? Is that effect? Motion having been made, do we have a second? Motion and second having been made, all those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Nay, ayes have it. Page 104, the personnel as presented is approved. Okay, next item of business on the agenda is residency appeal. Mr. Cole.
Yes, sir. One item to be discussed in executive session.
All right. Student discipline matter, Mr. Taylor.
This year, we have 2 matters to address in executive session.
2. All right. All right, this is the first meeting of the board, so, any public comment, anyone to speak, 5 minutes, unless you call and ask for permission to speak to the board. If you're on the docket to speak, then you have 10 minutes for that presentation. There can be no student matters or contract matters discussed, or personnel matters in an open section. So the comments do not pertain to that. The first person that requested to appeal, Mr. Marty Smith-Hart, 10 minutes, Mr. Smith-Hart.
So, thanks for having me. Listening to Mrs. Morris earlier, she said, get involved. So, I'm getting involved. So this is a presentation on Christianity and Islam and comparative religions. My name is Marty Smith-Hart. I'm a software developer, web database server. I've been in technology for a long time. Christian for nearly 20 years, follower of Christ by the Spirit, seminary student, first in seminary, I just started, Reformed Presbyterian, Grace View Presbyterian Church in South Haven. Would like to see people know God and who Jesus really is. I'm a big reader, love theology, history, philosophy, flying, I have my college license. So the Quran is a short book. In fact, I've got it right here. It's a little bitty book, about 77,000 words. Supposedly Muhammad received the Quran from the angel Gabriel. The Bible is a very long book written by Jews and Gentile believers over thousands of years. The Bible is over 10 times longer than the Quran. Biblical revelation was received by the prophets and apostles via God. Why this? Ideas have consequences. We do not live in a vacuum in our pluralistic society. Ideas matter, and so does what we say and do and who we elect for political office. Be proactive, which is kind of like getting involved, which is what Mrs. Morris said. I hope I have her name right. History matters, theology matters. Christianity's God is Trinitarian, 3 in 1, personal and relational. Islam's God is monadic, meaning one, impersonal and unrelatable, completely incomprehensible. And here I've got some some Hebrew that says, let us create man in our image, which is Genesis 1:26. That word God right there is actually called the plural or divine plural. It's all over. It's the Elohim. Starts in first verse. How did the Abrahamic religion get messed up? Because generally there's three Abrahamic religions. There's Christianity, Judaism, and Islam. The Old Testament is a good place to start. If you read the Old Testament, the nation of Israel would often leave God and worship other gods. I know I have 10 minutes, so I'm not sure how long I've gone, but I may skip through some of this.
You can say the names for me.
Okay, thank you. How did the Abrahamic religion get messed up? The New Testament also shows Jews have a propensity to worship God, idols, not God, since it is recorded in the Old Testament as well. And there's a quote from Jesus in John 8. And I'm skip through that. Jesus is the correction for the errors that are taught in Judaism. Many events according to the New Testament were prophesied in the Old Testament as God's prophets. Paul wrote about the Jews in the book of Romans and how they had fallen in unbelief. Even though thousands of Jews became Christians in the first century, the biggest increase in adherence to Christian religion were the Gentile pagan world. They became followers. The first century, about 50,000 people were Christians in the Roman Empire, which had about 60 million inhabitants. Estimates say that the Roman Empire had nearly 20% Jewish population spread out all over the empire. In 150 AD, after the New Testament had been written, the unbelieving Jews began to write the Talmud, Gemara, and the Mishnah. I call it Judaism 2.0, Mishnah, Talmud, Gemara. For the next 450 years, Jews 2.0 wrote the, as a software developer, I'm using kind of software term. So like Jews 2.0, there's a version of that. Wrote the Talmud, commentary, etc. The end of the Talmud was in 600 AD. Before Muhammad was born, a Jewish kingdom existed in southern Arabia called the Amorite. From 110 AD to 520 AD, Muhammad was born in 570 AD. Muhammad was a self-professed prophet in 60 AD. Muhammad was supposedly illiterate. He heard the Jewish tales taught in the Talmud. Some of the Quran teaches stories from the Bible. All of the stories are just told as it is in the Talmud. Is Islam peaceful? Yes and no. You must have peaceful Muslims for terrorist Muslims that exist. There are peaceful Muslims. Most Muslims are peaceful. There are violent Muslims. Which one, peaceful or violent, is most reflective of original Islam? It's violence. Islam came from somewhere, right? Islam's thoughts and beliefs did not just pop into being. Scholarly Muslims say Islam is what Abraham first believed. This isn't true. They say that. How do we know that scholarly Muslims are wrong? Because we have the Bible. The Bible has recorded many people who were exceptionally violent. One of them was, for a time, an unbelieving Jew who persecuted the church in the first century. You could call him the first terrorist, anti-Christianity. His name was Saul of Tarsus. Later he became a Christian, wrote 13 books of the New Testament. But before he was Christian, he murdered Christians because of his zeal for the pure Jewish monotheism. Saul put Christians in prison, drove them to Jewish courts, etc. In the first century, Saul of Tarsus, who eventually became a Christian, also recorded in the New Testament, is an example of someone who was very zealous for his Jewish religion. We call Saul a terrorist, but the terrorists basically did not stop with Saul. Paul continued. It is well known the Roman and Jews severely persecuted the early Christians. When Jerome began to write the Vulgate, Bible in the latter 4th century, he had to seek help from the Jewish individual in Palestine to translate the Hebrew into Latin. Hebrew being the original language, and they were translating it from Latin, which was called the Vulgate, or the common language. Jerome could have been killed for reading the Jewish Hebrew Torah in the 4th century. Centuries later, there's a connection between the Bible through the centuries. It is ignoble heart. Muhammad declared himself a prophet in 610 AD for 12 years. He only received a small following. In 622, he had an assassination attempt occurred on Muhammad in Medina. The first 10 years, Muhammad was peaceful. The next 13 years, Muhammad was a terrorist. From 122 AD to 133 AD, Muhammad had over 100 battles and skirmishes with Jewish and Christian Arabian villages all of Arabia. Became Islam before Muhammad died. Muhammad, in one hadith, said that Arabia should only be one religion. To this day, you cannot have a church in Arabia. after Muhammad died in 33 AD, Islam spread by the sword as it spread quickly. In 711, Muslims had conquered North Africa and crossed into Spain by the Strait of Gibraltar. In 732, Muslims were defeated in France by Charles Martel in the Battle of Tours. Islam spread to India and the Middle East. Islam ruled Spain for a time. In 1453, Islam conquered the empire, became the Islamic Empire. In 1683, Islam Ottoman Empire attempted to conquer northern Italy, but was defeated. I didn't even mention the Crusades. And there were three, but that was the big ones. Islam is evangelistic like Christianity. There's reason why people are coming to the West, and generally speaking, no one wants to live in the Middle East, correct? Arabia, and in fact, Saudi Arabia has protection for Westerners, a spot for you to live if you work in Arabia. Finally, Jesus said in John 18:30, "It is finished." He opened the door to heaven. Through him is now accessible to anyone who bows the knee and repents and believes in God, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. About 600 years later, Muhammad said invariably that it is not finished. He declared himself a new prophet. He declared there's a day of judgment and there's one Allah. The Arabic and so any questions? Finished in time. Read everything really fast, but I want to make sure I respected your time. Questions?
No, we appreciate very much you.
Thank you.
For coming.
Yeah, thank you.
The second request to appear, this is Kimberly for sale. Would someone check the line?
What is Purcell? Purcell.
No one out there? Okay. Ms. Purcell apparently is not here. She had requested to appear. That concludes the items on our agenda. I'll entertain a motion for consideration of closed session to determine whether the board should enter executive session for the following matters: residency appeal and student discipline matters, and potential litigation.
I make a motion to consider going into executive session to discuss residency.
Motion has been made for consideration of matters in executive session as mentioned. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Nay. Ayes have it. Mr. Chase will come back and inform you as to whether the board will stay in executive session.